So we're testing here, just making sure. So yeah, Adrian, he drained my ear the last couple days, and it took the swelling down a little bit. But yeah, I usually ask. I go to an ear, nose, and throat doctor, and they usually like slice it open and like they can really push it all out. But I don't know, our medical system sucks. And like I called them on Monday, and it just went to voicemail. So I left a message, and they haven't called me back yet. So I got my ear drained by like my whatever black market like ear draining person rather than like an actual medical professional.
In the back of the gym.
In the back, yeah, pretty much, right? Okay, cool. Yeah, so yeah, we're rolling. So yeah, that was just a little intro part, maybe. I don't know, whatever.
Icebreaker.
Yeah. So we were talking about like a little bit about your profession before we started recording, and it's like you did economics in college.
That's right. I got a BS in economics.
That's awesome.
Doesn't stand for
Yeah.
It was tough, as you know. Even just trying to get into Cal Poly is like a mission on its own.
Right.
That discipline was like a little more, I guess, exclusive to the School of Business. It was probably not even close to, the competition of, what did you do, engineering.
Yeah.
Specifically
computer engineering.
Computer engineering. Yeah. Cal Poly's no joke with all the engineers.
Oh, for sure.
That's
right.
Yeah. But just got into it.
If you want to pull the mic a little bit closer.
I can do that.
Yeah.
I definitely want to say to you though, thanks for having me on.
Oh yeah.
Like,
no.
You're the fucking man.
No, you're the man.
You're
dude.
the fucking man. You're the fucking man, Mike Lady.
Right.
You're the fucking man.
All right.
But yeah, starting in school, it was like it was something that challenged me a lot.
Mm-hmm.
A lot.
Yeah.
I may not speak and articulate very well, but I can write pretty well.
For
English
sure.
was like, a pretty decent subject for me.
Mm-hmm.
Did a whole like PTK through like junior college, like the honor society,
Mm-hmm.
Got into Cal Poly, super lucky about that.
Yeah.
Took on a major that I had no idea about. So
you just picked economics because it sounded cool, or what?
I mean, I heard about it.
Uh-huh.
And I took all the precursors in junior college. That challenged
gotcha.
me. They like kicked my
see.
ass.
I see.
I had to do like some relative, probably not relative to a lot of engineers, but I had to do some
I
pretty
took
tough calculus courses.
I took. Oh, okay. Yeah. Calculus that's legit. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
I had to take calculus, and like I know none of it currently, so it was like if you still use it, or like if you whatever, you're still using the stuff that you learned in school.
Maybe when I'm like trying to help my niece out with their homework,
Yeah.
But it took a whole curriculum of calculus courses, advanced statistics, all sorts of things, and there's micro and macro economics.
Mm-hmm.
One of these courses, a lot of the students that I was with, they were doing big banks, banking projects, and I couldn't get with it. I had to incorporate something that I was passionate about.
Sure.
With what I was learning, like I'm not just gonna learn all the stats and then not do anything with it for the time being.
For sure.
So just got into MMA. I was always a fan, but I just try to figure like, how much do I think this person is worth, and how could I incorporate this into like an economics project, and then just make myself happy with something that I feel like is going to be a benefit to the realm of MMA.
Yeah.
At the time, there wasn't a whole lot of literature and whatnot, so I definitely had to find the resources. I ended up finding my boss at the time, Reed Kuhn, with Fightnomics. Ended up finding him on a YouTube video doing a presentation at MIT Sloan. Found his email address in like the description, hit him up, said these are my ideas.
Yeah.
Let me know yours. We'll try to figure something out.
Yeah.
Ended up doing some projects in exchange for data, which was nice. So I got to learn a lot, and I thought I was figuring things out, you know.
Right.
But the fight game is like no joke. I mean,
Yeah.
I just kind of like, you know, it was something that I just thought was going to like be fulfilling as opposed to me thinking about big banking.
Sure.
You know?
Yeah. It's way more interesting than like helping whatever some billion-dollar hedge fund like make 2% more
Right.
whatever returns next year or
Right.
next quarter or whatever.
Nah.
Right? Yeah. So that's dope. And like you mentioned, like you got into like fighter pay and like what each fighter would be worth or whatever, and that's like still currently like a hot topic of contention of like how fighters aren't getting paid shit and it's like it's a subject close to my heart because I started an entire company based on like jiu-jitsu like fighters like not making a lot of money and like go grappling like that was like the intention behind it is to like help them make like another avenue of whatever income. And fortunately IG subscriptions and other platforms have come around that I didn't need to be like go grappling didn't need to exist anymore. But that's like something near and dear to my heart is like these guys who like put everything on the line, and unless they make it to like the highest levels, they don't get paid shit for it. So yeah, what have you like seen with that over time?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, it's fucking awesome that you like put your passion into something like that.
Right.
I mean, the innovation, the ideas were there. I mean, you probably couldn't predict. Okay, Instagram's gonna start having subscriptions. So my, company's only gonna be existent for 3 months or whatever the time was. But that's fucking awesome that you would do something like that.
Right.
On the same sense, like. I'm probably not going to be Gordon Ryan in this,
Sure.
I'm probably not, but I can be the best version of myself.
Exactly.
And if I can't, I can chase that and try so much.
Definitely.
The pay is like, okay, it would be great to get some money. Fuck yeah, that would be great. It would be fucking great.
Right.
Probably not going to happen, but hey, my gratification, I guess, comes from challenging myself daily, like having the opportunities, like, I mean, I competed against you like at High Rollerz.
For context, High Rollerz, like 10 minutes that way.
Right.
It's close to both of us.
Right.
Yeah, it's like it's home turf for.
That's right.
It's a interesting local tournament, but super fight show for somehow, and I don't know, people. It's a super high production value and. It's pretty fun. So
absolute savages everywhere. So
exactly,
in that sense, it's like, well, by the way, thank you. Shout out to High Rollerz. Thank you to Sergeant Dank Jay for letting me come on that show and have the opportunity to share a mat space with you for sure, dude. That was like,
that was fun.
May not be ADCC, but for me, dude, that's probably the dopest shit I've ever done in my life.
Yeah.
And
it's a great fucking venue, and
of all people, I mean, I wouldn't have wanted it any other way,
For
so
sure.
I appreciate that for sure. A little bit more context, like, man, when I first met you, it was like 2013, 14.
Yeah, so somewhere in there, college days, Cal Poly, which is so crazy. Like we're talking about like how we both ended up out here and just like
wild.
Yeah, it's so interesting to and also explaining this 10 minutes into the podcast, so this other team's rash guard that I don't represent anymore, but it was a gym that we both trained at in San Luis Obispo, and it's something that I think wherever we train at, like we carry a piece of it with us. Like we always have that perspective, or we always like share, like you always carry the experiences you had at whatever gym you trained at or place you've been to and kind of grew roots, and you establish relationships, like you kind of carry that with you, and it's just a part of your journey.
Yeah, bleeding sweat with these people, and they just become you. It just becomes your jiu-jitsu,
Exactly. Yeah.
I remember always like bleeding on the mats, and there was this woman that they had the elite Muay Thai in there.
Oh, yeah.
And there was
Yep.
this woman that was always in there just kicking ass,
Mm-hmm.
and she would always tell me, "Hey, what's up, DNA? What's up, DNA?" So I'd be bleeding on the mats all
Right?
the time. What's up, DNA? Hey, how's it
That's,
going?
that's
Yeah.
hilarious.
Yeah, it was funny. But yeah, man, like that was probably my second school I go into.
Yep.
I know you started as a wrestler,
Yep.
Northern California area. Started as a wrestler,
Yep.
transitioned to jiu-jitsu, stuck with you forever.
Yeah, pretty much. Like I missed wrestling so much because it was just like, I don't know. I played football and I wrestled in high school, and
You got injured your senior year.
I got injured in my senior year. Thank you for listening to
Yeah.
to the podcast. But yeah, broke my hand senior year, and I was like, yeah, there's no like continuation for wrestling. Like there's no like adult clubs or anything like that. So like my friends like kept like prodding me throughout like high school. Oh, go do jiu-jitsu, whatever. And then eventually like I was like, oh, I'll go try it, and started at Guerrilla Jiu-Jitsu in the Bay Area. And I don't know. For a while, I was kind of in between both of the schools because I was like home for the summer during college, so I trained at Guerrilla. But then like during the school year, I trained at Paragon. So I at one point I thought about repping like both whatever schools on my gi. Never really happened, but like it would have been a nice touch though. I feel like that because I feel like very like connected to like both, and like both are like family. Mm-hmm. And it's so strange to like when you you train with these people, and it's like you grow so close to them, and that they're your chosen family, and you all show up at the same time every day, and you try to strangle each other, and it's just the weirdest like bonding experiment that we've run, and it's something that has got us hooked for life, basically.
It's fulfilling, super fulfilling.
Exactly.
There's one thing, that I'm passionate about in regards to competition,
Mm-hmm.
and that's losing.
Okay.
I don't like to lose.
Yeah,
But I was not like I was more happy that
Sure.
I was more happy to see you there and like
Sure.
do your damn thing than I was like pissed about me losing that match.
For sure.
By the way, I looked like shit, but anyways, Mike, you're the man, dude.
Thank you.
Speaking of like going back home,
Yeah.
if you ever go back home, I'm gonna just have to drop this. You make the choice, But Oakland, 10th Planet, Michael Hillebrand's doing his thing down there.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Go through, hit him up.
I need to make it out. I need to make it out there.
Oh yeah,
because
solid team.
I've been to the 10th Planet Oakland 6 a.m. class. I forget the instructor's name, but definitely need to go in for a night class and see what they're about.
Yeah. And then on that note too, you were talking about repping both teams.
Yeah.
It never really played out for you, but
Sure.
you felt connected about it.
Yeah.
During our match, I had on some shorts.
Mm-hmm.
Rio Bravo Jiu-Jitsu Club is a club from my hometown.
Okay, nice.
Anytime I go into town, it's open door policy. So shout outs to them for sure. That's awesome. But I had that connection. I felt like if any one person that needs to know that there's a gym and they just so happen to see me wearing those shorts and they're like, oh, hey, there's a gym down the street from my house. Like, that's fucking awesome because that wasn't available for me, when I was interested in getting started. So having that is awesome. Yeah. Super awesome.
Definitely.
Yeah. But your gym right now is a bunch of savages. Dude.
Oh,
you guys are all savages.
No, yeah. It's kind of crazy how it's 10th Planet is it's grown, like the fancy gym you see on Instagram, how like very like photogenic it is and like very bright big windows and whatever, very color coordinated. Like it was like in a much smaller space like when I first started there, and it was like it looked like a fucking shoebox, and the swamp, and people like got after it in there, and Coach Casey like made a bold decision to like move us over like across the parking lot, still very close, but like during COVID to like expand into this space. And now it's like it was the most popular open mat on Sundays. It definitely still is, like 10 whatever times, I don't know, 4, like whatever the mat space like increased by, like the number of people increased by that. So Yeah, it's dope. Yeah, super lucky to have like thought about starting to train there. Like when I first moved out here, I was like, I was mostly a gi guy, and then I got into, I was like, let me try something completely different. And 10th Plan is completely different than like a traditional gi school. So, yeah, no, Coach Casey has like set a great example, and he's big inspiration for us. So
hell yeah. Almost strictly like just no gi, right?
No, there's no gi classes.
Yeah, right now
Zero.
I'm training gi a couple of times a week, and then no gi.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
At Extremes?
At Extreme Couture.
Nice.
Yeah, at Extreme Couture under
Cool.
Theo Rosenball. He's Vinny Megalash black belt.
Oh, cool.
Super dope guy. He's like, he'll just stand there and like stare at me. I'm like, did I do something wrong? Did I fuck it up? Did I piss him off? And he'll be like, try this, try that, and like just sharpens the tools, man. Like sharpens the tools, and dude, I can't help but get fired up about that. So he's teaching technique, and I'm like fucking jumping around, like staring at him, like, yeah, the application needs to come. The application's gonna come. I'm gonna do it. I'm doing it. You know?
Yeah.
So I mean, I love this stuff. It's I'm very fortunate to be able to like train under that. I will have to come to Sunday Open Mat sometime.
Yeah.
Yeah,
For sure.
I think the last time I was in there was before Nationals.
Oh yeah. The shoulder.
Yeah, that was a fun time.
Yeah, that sucked. I'm sorry I couldn't adjust your shoulder there.
That's okay. We were trying to figure it out. Like, how do we yank on? I mean, dude, did you see Aaron Pico's last fight?
No, I would.
Wow, his shoulder comes out the socket. This man is a warrior.
Oh fuck!
Like,
and he keeps swinging with his other arm, or
bro, he kept fucking fighting. He kept fighting.
Wow.
I think he was like fighting off a choke, fought off a choke.
Oh shit!
The round comes to an end, and he's like telling his coaches, like, put it back in, put it back in. They grabbed that thing, and they probably twisted it every what way, but except for back in.
Oh no!
And boy went out there like, what a beast.
Oh wow!
But yeah, he's like, when I see things like this, and then something like, you know, a dislocated shoulder happens to me, I'm like, all right, I gotta shut the fuck up, like, bite down on this, figure it out,
right?
Keep going. Yeah. But yeah, that was the idea. I guess I never really asked you, like, how did you perceive that? Like, what happened?
What?
Like, just that time, yeah. So basically, I hit you up, like, you know, hey, Nationals is coming up. Like, can we get some work in? And you're always the guy that's like, yes.
Yeah, that's my policy, is like to say yes to everything. It gets me in trouble sometimes, but it's like, I don't know. It's like, we're friends. We knew each other already. It's like, yeah, sure. Like, come after 6 a.m. and we can get some wrestling in. Cause I was like trying to, I'm always trying to improve my wrestling, but yeah, my wrestling was kind of like on the rocks there. And I just wanted to, like, somebody who wanted to do stand up and just work takedowns and stuff. Yeah. So I forget I don't know. Did I shoot you? Sprawled, and like, did you land on your arm or something like that? I don't know.
It was like a front headlock position, front headlock, like cow catcher. And I was gonna try to launch you, Mike.
Okay.
I was gonna try, but of course you're strong as shit. So whatever position you're holding down, in conjunction with the force that I was throwing it at, and the right angle, pulled my arm right out.
Fuck.
So anytime I'll try like a knee tap from standing, I gotta be careful, So I started rolling with the shoulder brace, that kind of stuff. Dude, I'm trying to be in this for a long time.
No, it's that's the key thing, is like longevity. Is not treating every training round as like a competition, right? Like, you only want to ramp it up sometimes, and then like you want to stay healthy the rest of the time. You don't want to, like, I'm dealing with shit from, like, we just competed on Saturday. Like, I got guillotined for like 10 minutes by this guy, Damien Nicken. Yeah, like for 6 minutes of regulation. Then we had like 2 overtime rounds, and then like the final like overtime round. So like maybe like 6 out of the 9 minutes that we were competing, like I was getting guillotined. And
he was holding your neck for sure.
Exactly, and like blew my ear up. My cauliflower ear's obscured by the headphones, but now I have to like recover from that, and I have to deal with like you know, like rougher grappling consequences. Like if I were to do that every day, then like injuries start to pile up, right? So I don't know. That's just my soapbox for 6 a.m.
Yeah.
for like 6 a.m. where we don't try to kill each other every morning. Like you train 6 a.m. right?
I do.
Over there at Extremes. How's that like?
We
culture
try to
there?
kill each other.
You try to kill each other? Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. It's like you know, there's always a consistent, solid core group of people that are always
Yeah.
in there trying to get after it,
Yeah.
and they're all like athletic outside of jiu-jitsu.
I
So
see.
it's pretty fortunate, you know, because they come in like 5-minute warm up and everyone's ready to go live. You know?
I see. Yeah.
And I mean, it's awesome being able to learn and stuff, you know,
For sure.
always. But we get after it.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes like I should be cautious, a little more cautious, you
Sure.
know.
Yeah.
But we definitely get after it for sure. I mean,
Gotcha.
it's a good thing.
Yeah.
It's a good time. Usually after that, the rest of the day is just like piece of cake. You
Oh
know?
yeah, for sure. Like, and I think that's why 6 a.m. is the best class time, because it's like you get the most important thing out of the way. Like you get your own training in. You're pouring into your own cup, and then you can go and like whatever, go to your job or go see other people, go see your whatever, your friends, whoever else. Like you have now, like you filled your own cup up. Now you can like pour into other people, right? So, and it's a daily thing. Like it's nobody needs you at 6 a.m. right? Like nobody's unless you like have like job restrictions or something like that, where you're working for somebody on the East Coast and they need you on their time 9, and but normally people don't need you at 6 a.m. So it's like a very like, I want to say like sacred time, where it's like it's my own time, and like my wife isn't up at that time, or like nobody at work is trying to talk to me. So I was like, okay, I've got this block of time to do what I want to do, and this is exactly what I want to do during that time. So
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
What else would you want to do?
exactly, what else would I rather be doing? Exactly.
That's fucking sweet. And
Yeah.
you started that 6 a.m. class?
No, I didn't. No,
Oh, okay.
it was before my time at 10th Planet. This guy Andrew Ram, he started the gym with Casey, and then a few of the core guys like walked in there, like Mike Zaki, Bill Pierce, Doug McCaslin. Doug's been on the podcast. I need to get those other guys on the podcast, because those were like the core guys that I walked in and they were like still like they were about to get their blue belts, and I walked in there and I was like, oh, what are all these guys, like these savages, just whatever, all like very new white belts, like just beating each other up. Like they had like zero technique, and I was like, I've been told like by these guys, like I injected a little bit more technique in there, but as the big guy, or a bigger guy, like I had more finesse than they did. They were just in there cracking heads and like trying to like beat each other up. I was like trying to like finesse and try to whatever, kill them softly or whatever.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, no, then that was 5 years ago that I joined 10th Planet. So yeah, it's been crazy.
Yeah,
Crazy
you're a
5
beast,
years.
man. Now
Thank
brown belt.
Yeah.
You're a beast.
Wild.
You're a beast. Yeah. 10th Planet. Casey's a man. Casey's the man. He's always showed me love. So
Yeah.
I respect, appreciate him always. It's
For sure.
always like open door policy there too, you know.
Right.
So
Exactly.
much respect for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Do you I know you were talking about like, you know, getting like little injuries and stuff. Do you have like a recovery regimen that you normally do, sort of thing?
I get sick mostly, and like when I get like
we're all sick.
yeah, we're all
fucking sick.
right, yeah, exactly. But I like when I get too run down, like sleep is like that's when I'm like burning the candle at both ends. That sleep is the most important thing. But I've got all kinds of like weird recovery things, like lacrosse balls and Theraguns and whatever. I've got all sorts of different little tools, or like a Theracane where it you can like get at your back, like in your lat or whatever. But the overall is just like you largely control how hurt you get, like by the amount of tension that you put into training. So, and like when you tap and whatever. So knock on wood, I don't get hurt that often. It's more like I get sick, and like I drink athletic greens every morning and before practice, just so I have like vitamins to protect me from germs floating around the gym.
That promo code, right?
Exactly, right? Hopefully. Please sponsor me, Athletic Greens. Right. But yeah, I don't know. What do you do for recovery, or do you
hot tub?
Yeah,
Definitely let the jets hit the little thing. You know, I have all sorts of different sizes and shapes rollers, like including the spiky ones. It doesn't feel too good.
Right.
I try to sleep as best as I can, at least 8 hours of sleep
for sure.
And then I most recently started doing like cold plunges.
Oh, nice.
So try to get in like 4 of them a week, sort of thing.
Oh, wow. Dang. And that's a consistent thing for you then.
A couple of times. Yeah. A couple of minutes, like four times a week, maybe, you know, so it's cold. But I definitely feel like, you know, like exponentially quicker recovery.
Yeah, like it gets all the inflammation out, and like just
big time.
It just makes you feel like all recovered again.
Yep.
That's cool.
Slowly turning into an ice cube.
Right.
Feels fucking great.
Right.
Yeah.
That's cool. Where do you do that at?
So just
Extreme has it, or
they do.
Yeah.
But I just mostly like will be outside in my like the condos I have. There's like this little HOA. They have like a little hot tub. Come by anytime.
Oh, okay.
Little hot tub, and the pool is like, I mean, it's cold outside.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Cold's icy. Well, not icy, but like very cold.
Exactly.
I see.
Exactly. Not icy, but it's very cold.
Yeah.
Very, very cold.
I see.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. But definitely, I feel like as I've matured in, I guess, my jiu-jitsu, it's like it's something that I have to incorporate regularly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So I definitely like that for sure.
Right.
And when I came out here, it was like, you know, started in Bakersfield, Bakersfield Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Started wrestling in college, Santa Barbara City College. Transferred over to Bali. We're in Slow. That's when I was training with you in Paragon. Went back home, trained in Bakersfield for a little while. When I came out here, it had been a while since I had trained, maybe like a year. And then one of my buddies, Arthur, the Flow, he was like French Flamingo.
You know, so you knew Frenchie from before moving out here?
No. He was like one of the first persons I've met out there.
I see. Gotcha.
I actually met him at a bar. We were watching like the UFC fights.
Okay, gotcha.
There was some guy there, you know, supporting like Clemson football. It was like 47-4, but John Jones is about to fight. We're like, dude, it's 47-4. The score's not going to change. There's 3 minutes left of the game. Let's put on John Jones. You know?
Right. Yeah.
So we kind of like had some
bonding over
making fun of this football player guy. You know.
Right.
But no, you know, he was like, hey, come through 10 Planet Jiu-Jitsu open mat. So went to the swamp, you know, and it was like, holy shit. Like, that's Tim Elliott.
Yeah,
you
right.
know,
Yeah.
Like, that's Julian Erosa. Like, holy shit, these fucking people are like,
they're right there.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, all right, you know.
Right.
Super solid training.
Yeah.
Definitely wanted to get in on it, but like, you know, like I was saying, the discipline factor was just kind of like shit when I first moved out here.
Sure.
Then it was like a financial thing. I'm making excuses right now, so I'm just gonna shut the fuck
All
up. But nonetheless, I definitely will be back and hit up an open mat with you guys for sure.
Cool.
Yeah.
No, and that's cool that it's weird that we get to see how the sausage is made here. Where we're like you mentioned, you moved out here, fight capital. Like you love like looking up MMA stats and like digging into the numbers and like analyzing all these things, and we get to see these guys train, and we get to train with these guys, and we can like kind of, I don't know, feel how they actually like are gonna fight, and it's so strange to like at first, I had like the wow of like, oh shit, that's that guy, but then I was like, oh yeah, they're just there's there, like we're a popular gym, we're that good, we're gonna see people come through, and just treat them like normal humans. Like they're just there to train, just like we are. So,
Right.
Yeah.
Because he's this person doesn't mean he's not going to take it easy on you when he's trying to rip your head off.
Exactly.
Yeah. And he probably wouldn't appreciate it if you tried not to do that to him. Like,
Sure.
give him fucking samurai death, you know?
Exactly.
But at first, you can probably replay back on the camera when you said, we get to see what the sausage is made of. At first, I was like, what is Mike talking about?
Right.
And then I was like, no. And then, just putting it together, you know?
Yeah.
Being in the fight capital, collecting I literally spent an entire summer in Naples, Italy.
Oh, wow.
An entire summer, like 8 hours a day, collecting data on this stuff, as opposed to, like, you know, being out on the beach trying to get at some, you know, some ciao bella.
Sure,
right.
But
collecting all this data, having to do all this, you know, research, third-party research, like, all right, let's try to find their social media, you know, find like this, just kind of just information, all this data that I'm collecting, and then coming out here, and it's like, they're right there. You can see what they're doing.
Right.
You can see. You don't have to go search and, you know, find all this information. It's just like right there, available for you. And it's pretty awesome, dude. Like at the match, like there were so many MMA guys. They're probably potential Hall of Famers, you know, potential champions. Like it's awesome being out here. Yeah. And it just kind of like solidified, like, okay, this is where I want to be, you know. And I've like, for example, there was this big debacle over insider information with UFC and gambling betting. I don't know the details of it. I'm not going to involve my perception of it, but it happened. Yeah. And one of the companies that the UFC hired to just kind of like moderate, you know, any kind of outliers that should be of concern as far as like you know, gambling dollars increasing, decreasing, or making changes, was a company, U.S. Integrity. And Matt Holt, super cool guy. That was like another company that I was going to just try to get into, like applying the skills that I learned from a credible university. Like you were saying about jiu-jitsu, it's just like, when you have this stuff, it just doesn't go away from you. I mean, trust me, I can't give you like a Lagrangian function right now. I wouldn't be able to. But if I saw it, I'd be like, oh, yeah, he's not bullshitting me.
Yeah,
you know?
Right. Exactly.
But it's just things like the rationale, the whole like learn by doing kind of thing. It's like, once you have practice at it, make sure you practice right. Sure. But it just doesn't fucking leave you. Yeah. Yeah.
It shapes your perspective of the world. Yeah. Like you get to, you see it through that lens of like, okay, I have these tools to analyze the world, and your brain is just going to go and do stuff anyway. Like, and it's going to want to crunch some kind of numbers. You may as well do it in something that you're passionate with.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. And at the time, I mean, you know, like MMA fighters, they're contracted. Some of them have representation, some of them don't. And just trying to figure out, okay, what attributes does this particular fighter have that make him valuable? And with, you know, the Reebok deal and like Venom deal and all of their other, like, there's a lot of insider stuff that the public doesn't know as far as compensation goes. Yeah. So I just kind of like, you know, we had that project, and then I just kind of steered away to like, okay, what martial art attributes do you have as a fighter, whether you're a black Persian Muay Thai, whether you're a Golden Gloves boxer, whether you're a master of the sport in the art of Sambo, or you're a All-American wrestler or an Olympic champion. Like, what are these recorded attributes that you have that says you're going to win against this person, that sort of thing. So measuring, like, I guess, predictive analysis kind of stuff, you know, that's something else that we got into. And, you know, seeing how the sausage is made definitely is like a fortune, I guess, if you will. It's pretty cool. Sure. And then just being here, being surrounded by it, it's like also an inspiring thing. Like, you know, I'm around these people, like, they're high caliber. I'm not saying I can do it, because I fucking, like I said, I probably won't be, you know, Gordon Ryan, but I can be the best version of myself. Exactly. You know? Yeah. And it's just, it's inspiring to keep me going, you know? Yeah. It's inspiring for sure.
For sure. And like, it's crazy to like, yeah, we're it's sort of like a fish in water. It's like what a fish doesn't understand what water is because it's just what it is, what it's in. It's the context that it's in. It doesn't know anything different. Like here, the PI is down the street. The Apex Center is down the street from here. So it's like we couldn't get any closer to the center of all of this. And it's known as the fight capital of the world. Like before the UFC, it was boxing out here. It was like Tupac got shot after watching a Mike Tyson fight down whatever, I don't know the street, but like somewhere in Vegas. Like there's history here because of gambling. Like gambling and like combat sports like go hand in hand together. But it's also like that's it's not unique. Like there's other whatever, like people bet on sumo wrestling matches in Japan and shit like that. So right. They're like kind of supportive industries. They're symbiotic industries seemingly.
Right, so. Right. And even like, and before it even was like legal to gamble on the sport, like in certain jurisdictions, like I want to say, like I'm sure I'm going to be fact checked at times probably, but I mean I'm pretty sure I'll just give myself a big buffer space. Less than a decade ago, you couldn't gamble on MMA in like New York City or whatnot.
Exactly.
Even like online gambling was like highly regulated. I'm sure on mixed martial arts. Yeah, but It's pretty fucking awesome. I love this shit. I love it. I have a nephew that's mixed martial artist. He's like 3-1 coming up. Actually, my roommate right now, Brando Amaro, he was the one that dropped me this idea. He's like, you should go Mike Lady's podcast. He's 8-1. He's a pro fighter. 8-1, probably the best southpaw. Oh, speaking of Tupac,
right?
Picture me rolling.
Picture me rolling. Yeah,
that's cool.
Came from. I think they were stopping, like they're not making these shirts anymore. But yeah, it's some graphic designer on Instagram. I'll try to link it in the show notes.
Hell yeah, that's fucking cool.
Yeah,
black belt.
That's dope.
Yeah.
It's I don't know, the culture of like 90s gangster rap and jiu-jitsu is just inseparable for some reason. Like I don't know if it's the age of everyone. Like just it's the grittiness or the like, I don't know, like the violent nature of the lyrics, and then we're also doing something violent if that just kind of meshes together. But yeah, I don't know. It just that's just kind of like it's a common pattern I see.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, right. So anyways.
Hell yeah. I like that.
Pretty dope.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. It's interesting that you say that because like I was just talking to my buddy just the other day. He was like scrolling through something and he saw this guy. He's like, "Oh, General Butt Naked." Like, yeah, General Butt Naked. Well, this guy was like a warlord in like, West Africa, like hardcore stuff, child soldiers, eating the heart of like a unborn child, like hardcore stuff.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. And it just kind of reminded me because like rap music is like really, really like how do I say, like it I'm not gonna say it's gonna make you try to like massacre people and become a warlord.
Sure.
What I'm just saying is like it penetrated their troops and whatnot, and it kind of kept them going in their morale. And the reason why I know this is just in junior college, it was like working, like doing nonprofit work a bunch with a group called like Everyday Gandhis, and basically we worked around rehabilitating child soldiers and these like war criminals, and I got to speak and shake hands with some of these people, and it was just kind of like, all right. But one of the things just to talk to them about was like rap music, and they had their Western favorites for sure, including like Tupac's, Ice Cube's for sure. They were all about that. Wow. So it's interesting.
It's wild. It's an international thing. Like no matter where you are, like there's no corner of the earth that hasn't heard Tupac before. Maybe, I don't know. I'm sure there is like uncontacted tribes or whatever who haven't heard. But yeah, anybody with an internet connection can like look up these things, and culture is like more. It diffuses more. Like and that's something crazy. Is like, yeah, I'm putting this online. We're putting our voices online here, and we're just spreading it out. We're putting it into the ether, and whoever picks it up and listens to it, is just they think it's cool, or like somebody gets to know us that we may never even meet. And that's kind of something that I've encountered, is like, yeah, people know me and I have no idea who they are. It's like it might be like me becoming like an upper belt kind of thing, and like I'm sort of a pseudo instructor, like I fill in classes here and there, but yeah, I don't know, it's a weird, like, it's a
dude, you're the man.
I refuse to but you are also the man. Like we have to, like, we're equally the man here.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
But is like, yeah, I don't know, it's a weird, like, people get, like, I don't know, like I listen to Lex Friedman podcast a lot. He's like super technical and like can really get into the weeds with his guests, and like I feel like I know him because I like listen to so many episodes of him, but he has no idea who I am. Like it's that sort of like I think the fancy word is parasocial relationship.
I see what you mean.
And you kind of like develop that, and it's strange to like be sort of on the other end of that, of like other people knowing who I am and I'm not quite sure who they are. So
hell
yeah,
dude, especially in the jiu-jitsu community, I can imagine that's all over the place, because I mean, like, dude, you're the man. Your match against Santiago for, what was that, EBI qualifiers?
Oh yeah. Oh fuck, I forgot that.
Santiago, right?
Is it Santiago?
No, was his last name Santiago, I think?
Maybe. I don't know. Let me look it up really quick.
Yeah.
Let me be my own Jamie and like look this up.
I mean, ADCC, like second day, you know, you're the man, Mike. People know you.
I'm a micro influencer at best. Like,
micro influencer.
Like I don't have. I mean, I do have a weird reel that's like, it's so strange to like see people like this reel that I made like 4 months ago, and it's got like 50,000 views, and it just keeps like every so often like it pops up and like it hits the algorithm again. It gets, I don't know, a few hundred more views or a few thousand more views, and it's like it's so strange to like put out content and then that's like that's the one that hit or whatever. And
yeah.
I'm like, it couldn't have been any of the other things, but it could have been like when I was actively trying to market a company and like when I had something to sell to people, like that it couldn't have been one of those. But yeah, no, it was a random instructional one that I did with I don't know, it was one of the times I filled in, and then I filmed the thread I did that day, the flow that I did. So
nice. At least it wasn't like, this is how you tie a belt.
Right. Exactly. No. Well, and yeah, that's also weird. It's like I have a brown belt in 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu, but I still bought a gi belt just in case if I ever wanted to like throw it on. And like, so I have the right belt for it. So I got it. I was like, wow, this is so weird to like, I don't know. I like grew like whatever 10 years ago when I started, I was like, oh man, those people with the brown belts, like they're whatever, so good, and like it would take forever to get there. Now being on the other end of it, it's like, oh, it's so strange to like have this around my waist and be like have this like and feel good about it. Like I feel like I'm at that level. Like I don't feel like I don't deserve it or anything. I was like, oh fuck that. Like Coach Casey always talks about like he wants people to like feel like they deserve the belt, and because he's like he was held at brown belt for a long time, and like when he finally got his black belt from Eddie, he was like, all right, give me that shit, like I deserve this. And he wants to bestow that feeling on you. It's like he holds people at belts for a long time, and then you feel comfortable being like, all right, fine, my turn. like you feel like you did in fact earn that. So yeah, anyways, that's cool. But yeah, what got you started in jiu-jitsu? What drew you to wanting to do jiu-jitsu? Is it like the wrestling in high school, college? Like you just wanted something, some other kind of grappling art to start in, or?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. I think it was 100% that. So
right.
Basically, I guess the sequence of things that got me into jiu-jitsu is like a little bit of a sequence.
Sure.
Started wrestling in high school.
Yeah.
It was like you know, barely broke 5 foot. It's like 160 pounds. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, worked my ass off, grew a couple of inches, got some muscles.
Right.
The next year, you know, I probably didn't win it, not one match. You know,
shit.
The next year, stayed with it, worked my ass off, got a couple more inches, got in better shape, won a couple of more matches. Like my third year into it was like honorable mention in the state.
Oh wow.
You know, just grinding my ass off every day. There's like late night runs, early morning workouts, like grinding.
Yeah.
And I was dumb, dude. I didn't realize, you know, like you had to apply to go to college. It's like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna wrestle and go to university. I didn't realize like how much more I had to grow and become a way better wrestler and all this sort of stuff, you know.
Sure.
Ended up, you know, getting injured. Same token, like getting injured, one match away from going to state, senior year. Still kept on the grind, tried to rehabilitate myself. Started wrestling in a junior college. Literally didn't have one competition. And I got in a pretty bad accident.
I see.
Yeah. Surviving that accident, recovering, took me a long time. Trying to get like the mind back. Took me a while, but like my animal instinct was always like, I'm alive. And like nothing can kill me, sort of thing.
Sure.
So my invincible self was like, how do I, you know, become strong again and get back into this while I'm thinking the whole time I'm capable of doing all of this shit, right?
Yeah.
Well, come to find out, like, I'm having open wounds all the time. My body's still healing. I'm having surgeries. So the wrestling aspect just kind of, like, went in the back. And I was just like, all right, let's just focus on your recovery. Figuring out where you can be before you can start, you know, being more athletic and more athletic. Well, some time passed. I was probably like, you know, non-traditional student, like 4.5 years at a city college. Perfect, you know, no problem. In Santa Barbara, kicking back, you know.
Exactly, yeah.
Well, I heard of a club team at UCSB, and they're like super close to each other. I was living in Isla Vista at the time, you know, me and my girlfriend at the time, and I checked it out one day. And who did I see that day?
Who?
The guy I fucking lost to before going to state.
Oh, no.
Yep.
Wow.
And every single... Brian Askew from Kingsburg. Brian, if you're watching this, like, thanks, man. We had battles every day.
That's
and
awesome.
trust me, he remembered.
Yeah.
Yeah, he remembered.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it was awesome. Like, you know, I got to compete in wrestling again. I got to figure out my body. Like, okay, I better not do this shit. I better not do that. You know, like, okay, if I tripod, I'm going to get a busted head.
Yeah.
These sort of things. Like, the top of my head is just, like, skin and bone, dude. I probably have open wounds right now. You know, so anytime I tripod or any kind of friction, it's going to rip open. Same as my elbow. So as I'm getting back into this, I'm just trying to relearn, like, okay, I can hit a blast double, but I can't, like, jerk this way or whatever, you know, just trying to figure shit out.
Sure.
So after the club, I, you know, again, fortunate to get into Cal Poly. Cal Poly is a D1 program.
I mean, yeah, for sure.
D1, Brandon Buckley was the coach at the time. Shout outs to Brandon. He's now like a CEO exec of Beat the Streets. They help kids out.
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
you know Beat the Streets.
Yeah.
They help kids out, like put on big shows. Yeah, big cards. He was the coach there. We had a couple of guys ranked in the nation. The Castle brothers. They were freaking awesome. There was another guy from like Ohio. Super good team. No way I'm gonna join this like D1 team and survive.
Yeah.
I just didn't even give it a chance, you know. And I think, like you said, like you're just going back home for the summer or the winter or something like this, you know. A friend of mine was like, hey, or my nephew Isaiah, the MMA fighter. He was like, he was doing jiu-jitsu before I was, but I got him into wrestling. And so he's like, hey, just come. So I checked it out, you know. It's my first time putting on the pajamas and getting down. And it was like, I'm just smashing and passing, you know. So I'm like, hey, I could be kind of good at this, you know.
Exactly.
Come to find out, they're all like, dude, fuck this guy. Like, he needs to slow down. Like, what is his problem, you know? And I'm like, smash. It took me a long time.
Typical wrestler problem.
Yeah, it took me a long time to realize, like, hey, I better not do this for a very long time. You know, I'm going to get kicked out or just hurt someone or myself.
Yeah.
But it took me a while. And yeah, I was like going back home. So when during like winter break or like summer break, I'm training. You know, training jiu-jitsu. It wasn't like a full like season, I guess, if you will, full year or whatnot.
Sure.
You know.
Yeah.
And then at Poly, like then I was like, I wonder if there's some jiu-jitsu schools around here. Found Paragon, like super close to where I was living.
Right.
Chris Lovato, you're the man.
Yep.
All the Johns that were there.
Oh yeah, John Green,
John Murphy.
John Murphy. Oh, John. I just
black belt.
Just recently, I saw John Murphy at a ADCC Open.
Hell yeah.
Him. You remember Brailer?
I do.
Yeah, long dude. He trains at Legion now.
Hell yeah.
He's a big time competitor now, and yeah, it's crazy that all the whatever.
Yep.
It's a crossroads for like jiu-jitsu is such a small like world where like we all train together like roughly around the same time, but then we all kind of split apart, and then we all like whatever grow in our jiu-jitsu careers. And like me and Brailer were in the same bracket at ADCC trials, opposite sides of the bracket, minus 99, but we got eliminated at the same round, so like the round of 16 or whatever. So he's had like I would say more success in terms of like super fights and things like that, and like more he has more whatever, since he trains with Keenan Cornelius. He has like he has people pointing to him, and like I don't know, he's also like he works very hard. Don't get me wrong, like I'm sure it would be a fun scrap if whenever we do meet. But it's sort of like a inevitability almost of like
challenge.
We're on a collision course at some point.
Hell
but
yeah.
but we did train together. Like I remember his like whatever. I feel like he started after me, and I passed his like long ass legs. I'm like, oh man, this guy's gonna be a problem once he figures out how to use these legs.
Right.
So yeah, I don't know. It's strange to like look back at that time and be like, oh, there was like some like down motherfuckers back then.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. So. I was like just learning like, okay, what is the culture of like jiu-jitsu gyms? Like, okay, I'm training here, but my gi has this patch on. Like, do you think they're gonna get pissed at me for coming here with this gi? You know, this kind of stuff. I'm just learning. I'm a fucking sponge. I'm a kid, you know?
Yeah.
Still learning shit. And like there was a guy, Grant Frazier.
Yeah.
He's from my hometown. He was like,
really?
dude, come in. If anyone has a problem, let me know. I'll take Oh man, dude, those guys whoop my ass. Whoop my ass. And I was like, all right, I got to come back for you.
Yeah.
Same as you, Mike. Dude, you fucking choke me. You make me look like an amateur. I'm sure I made you look like an amateur, but nonetheless, man, I'm coming for you.
All right. Sounds good.
But no, it was like that. It's like, all right, this is something that like is motivating me to be a better me.
Sure.
Not because I want to beat you or
I don't
want to lose to you.
It's a like, challenge. It's like you want to. It's a tangible thing now that you can be like, oh, okay, I need to shoot for this. Yeah. So what do I need to do to get to there? So.
Yeah, it's something that's interesting, man. I was in a drug-induced coma for 2.5 months.
Oh, shit.
2.5 months. My family didn't know if I was going to live. They didn't know if, my brain was going to start blinking. They didn't know if I was going to be able to move my legs ever again. They didn't think I was going to fucking live, right? One of the last things that, like, came back to me besides, like, my vision was, like, my sensation, because everything was like this static of like fucking pain that had reconditioned my mind. What is pain? Okay, okay. And when I feel this sensation, I'm starting to think, all right, I'm immediately healing now. Yeah. So I just like, not that I'm a masochist or anything, but I can tolerate a lot of fucking pain.
Sure. Yeah.
And my whole point with this, I'm blanking out on what it was, but it was like just a drive, like, okay, now that I know my body physically can tolerate certain things, like that last bit of sensation that I got was physical touch. How can I apply this to, like, what I'm doing? What if I didn't have an eye? So sometimes I'm like, in the middle of a roll, I'm like utilizing my sensations, like, okay, I could feel them turning this way, and so it's just like these little kind of like
proprioception, I
guess,
where you feel it's not just like touch, but it's your body positioning relative to theirs, and your body works a little bit different than mine, but it's still like you you crave that sensation because it was the last thing that came back for you.
Big time.
And you like enjoy the sport of this, like, since we're this gamification of this sensation.
That's right.
Because we have to be very in tune with where is our foot placement, how is my knee like relative to the rest of my body. Like, we have to care about all of our joint angles and where everything is going.
Traps, setups, like how can I angle this to where he feels like there's a wall there, he won't turn into me, he's gonna turn against me, and then I capitalize. Like these kind of fucking puzzles was like, this is what I need to do. You know. And awesome. I mean, don't get me wrong, dude. I love to wrestle. I was wishing we would wrestle a lot more in that match. I was.
Sorry, I pulled.
No, I
shot and then I was like, this is
and
this is an excuse to get to the ground,
dude. You got Leonard training and hanging on you. There's no way I'm gonna make much of a difference, you know. But that's fucking awesome. I was hoping whatever. I love to wrestle, dude. But also jiu-jitsu was like, it was my thing. So. You know, after poly, like, made a little tour of, okay, you graduated college, do your thing kind of tour. Took care of the mom, started training in the hometown a little bit more. Then I moved out here, and that's, you know, starting to, like, reincorporate myself into the scene right now, for sure. Yeah. Fortunate to meet really special people that have helped me out, you know, dude. Downtown 10th Planet, like everyone there is fucking awesome. Benny Casimir's like, dude, every time I talk to him, he's like feeding me information. I'm just like, hell yeah.
Like, I don't think anybody is more infectious about jiu-jitsu. Like, he makes you want to like want to train more because with how like enthusiastic he is about like teaching you.
Niba.
It's
like, hell yeah, I want to learn some knee bars. Right? Hell yeah. Fuck yeah, it's the best submission ever.
Right.
Yeah. But man, just finding people, like you were saying, like just meeting people in your journey, and then maybe some of those guys like Drew from Paragon.
Fucking Drew.
He used to kick my ass all the fucking time.
Same.
We would have battles too. I haven't talked to this guy in a long time, but I can imagine, like, you talk to this guy again and it's like you haven't left. Like, all right, you know, what's up?
Yeah. Man, so this is a Paragon, like, fucking throwback show because I have stories about, like, me getting my ass handed by Drew because he was a blue belt, I think, and I was a white belt, and then maybe he just got his purple belt or something like that. But he was like significantly better than me. And I just couldn't get around his long fucking legs. And I just was so like, there was probably times where we like rolled for 30 minutes straight because I just didn't want to give up. I just was like, all right, again. Like, he would tap me with something. I would just come at him again. It'd come out again. And just, that was so frustrating. But it was so like instructive, and so like that's the essence of jiu-jitsu is like, all right, fuck it, I'm gonna try again, and I'll get my ass handed to me, but I'm gonna keep coming at it, trying to solve the problem, even though it's very unlikely that I'll solve this problem against this particular guy at this point in time, but every little bit like builds you towards that. So that's my story about Drew. Shout out Drew. He was like one of my first like arch, like, I don't think he didn't see me as an arch nemesis, but I was like, oh, that guy, like, I am like I just tall guys in general are like my arch nemesis because it's like I'm shorter, stockier, like they can like triangle me from all the way out there, and just like I don't know, I'm just envious of their long limbs.
It's your kryptonite.
Exactly. Yeah. So.
Damn. No, but that goes, like, just to add on to what you were saying, too, you know, like, you don't know the impact you're leaving on people, whether it's you from, you know, the real, or whether it's, like, you on an open mat with someone that you just met, you know, you don't really know, like, how much you're affecting them, you know, and I guess it's also kind of what I found in the jiu-jitsu, like, just taking inspirations from everywhere, you know, and just helping me just like keep my head up, you know, like fucked up my knee, dude, on Monday, and I'm pretty sure this is like the worst injury that I've had to my knee.
Fuck.
So you know, it's like well, what am I gonna do? Just get down and start being like, oh no, fuck,
Yeah.
I'm sad, I'm out. Nah, dude,
Yeah.
like I already, talked to my coach Theo. He's like, yeah, come through, dude. Like, take notes on the technique.
Yeah.
Be there.
Sit
be
on the side,
present.
just be.
You
Yeah.
can't roll on the mat.
Sure.
But,
Yeah.
be there. And it's like, it's just, I guess without that discipline factor in my life, jiu-jitsu has like brought in me all of that,
Yeah.
like everything I was lacking, I feel like. And so I'm grateful for it, man. I appreciate it. I appreciate all of it. Just combat sports in general, like
Sure.
the integrity, like you have to be honest with it.
Yeah.
You can't fake the funk,
Of course not. No.
Yeah.
It's there. Like the mats don't lie. We'll figure it out. It is literally fuck around and find out.
Yeah.
It is. You cannot. You can't fake anything. Like you will be found out if you're a fake black belt or whatever, and somebody like gets destroyed by one of our blue belts or whatever, right? Like that's the. There's something like objectivity to it, even though it's still like all subjective. Like we're all subjective human beings, and we all have our own narrow views of the world, and we're all trying to like look at the same problem with all our different perspectives and try to come to an idea of what a thing is. But yeah, like jiu-jitsu, there's like a self-correcting thing about it.
It's the truth.
Yeah, it's the truth. it's
100%.
It's the closest thing to the truth that we can ascertain.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it's cool.
Hell yeah. I'll recover and get better.
Right. Yeah. No. Yeah. Hope your knee gets better, and yeah. I mean, sounds like you're taking care of it already. And,
Instantly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah,
Cool, man.
that's the idea.
For sure. Cool. Anything you want to shout out, or anybody that, or sponsor? Well, I don't know. Sponsors, people, whoever.
Yeah. Humans Grappling. Shout out.
Thank you.
Appreciate that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
For sure.
I think for sure, having the opportunity to train like solid techniques, I like was going to like free early bird classes with Bryce.
Oh yeah.
Bryce Harley. Shout outs to
He's
him.
dope.
He's
Yeah.
doing that for free.
Yeah.
That's fucking awesome.
The most, yeah, like jiu-jitsu is, yeah, like that's a gift that he's giving of his time, and just the gift of jiu-jitsu.
Yeah,
making that available.
100%.
That's
So
awesome.
yeah, shouts to him. I got my blue belt from him. Of
That's
course,
awesome.
like went to different schools.
Uh-huh.
Stripe systems didn't matter. Like
For sure.
I mean, for me,
Yeah.
the promotions, they came when they needed to.
Mhm.
He gave me my blue belt. Great, thank you, Bryce. I am absolutely 100% fortunate about that.
Yeah.
My coach right now, like Theo.
Yeah.
Again, super, super fucking awesome, super technical, giving me that opportunity. Shout outs to him. Shout outs really to like, I don't want to sound corny or like any kind of like, motivational person.
Yeah.
If you defended yourself, you have boundaries, like fucking applaud for yourself,
Yeah.
I was going to say like, burn survivor people for sure,
Sure.
is like a community that I am passionate about, but just in general, anyone that has some boundaries, you stick up for yourself, you fight to live or you live to fight another day, you fight to live another day, one of those.
Sounds like both.
Both.
It sounds like both
You
could
fight
apply.
if you gotta win.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, that's a win. So yeah, keep your heads up. Shout out to the burn community, Phoenix Society. They do a lot for the burn community. They host a conference. Burn survivors all around the world.
That's awesome.
So a lot of people need that reintegration. They need those avenues. I need to go show them some jiu-jitsu or something. Maybe not me, someone better,
No,
you.
you're
We'll get you out there.
Man.
Go show some burn survivors some jiu-jitsu.
Sounds good.
Yeah, you already showed me some. So, no, I'm just kidding.
That's
But and then also, Bakersfield Firefighters Burn Foundation. Thank y'all. Always showing me love. I have like one sponsor, Athletic Tape, War Tape, War Tape Worldwide. Shout outs to them for keeping all my DNA stuck inside my body.
Oh yeah, that's definitely a very functional use of tape for you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, right.
Absolutely.
It's not just people tape their fingers up and maybe it works, maybe it doesn't, but like for sure for you to like patch yourself up.
Hell yeah. And then I had my wrist taped up too, just in case for whatever reason I got past you and then had to face Damien. You know, that wrist lock. I was like, let me tape up my wrist real quick. Nah. No, honestly, just to hold back some DNA.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Awesome.
But yeah, man, super, super grateful to be here. I appreciate this.
No, thanks for coming on, man.
Yeah, thank you
great.
for sure.
Awesome. Thank you. Thanks everybody for tuning in, and see you next time.